Hey guys, it's Danny from the Young Family Homestead here. Today I'm going to be talking about incubating chicks. How long does it take to incubate chicks? First up is how long does it take to incubate chickens? So it usually takes around about 21 days from the minute you put them in the incubator to the minute they start pipping. Sometimes they hatch on day 19, and if they do hatch on day 19, sometimes that can mean that they'll probably be a little smaller and a little weaker. Basically you've got to leave them in there for a little bit longer in the incubator. I wonder what temperature chicks should be incubated at. So what temperature do you have your incubator while you're incubating the chickens? There are different temperatures for chickens and ducks and guinea fowl and different humidity levels. This specifically relates to incubating chickens. To incubate chickens, you want your temperature to be around about 37 to 38 degrees or 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and you want your humidity to be around anywhere above 50 to below 60 in humidity. We have had chicks hatch in the past when the humidity has dropped as low as 38 because we forgot to put water in it overnight. The kind of incubator we've got, it's only a real small incubator. I guess it's for beginners. We have to actually squirt water in the base of it to keep the humidity levels at, in that range. I wonder if I'm allowed to touch the eggs when they're about to hatch. One thing you need to make sure that you don't do is touch your eggs after you stop turning them. So let me rewind a little bit. When should you stop turning your eggs? So you should stop turning your eggs around about 18 days. So remember, take into consideration that your eggs are in the incubator for 21 days. So 2 or 3 days prior to your birds hatching is when you want to stop turning them. Once you take your turners out of your specific incubator or set it to stop turning, do not touch them. The last thing you want to do is turn them or move them when the chick's trying to get into the position to start pipping. That leads me to the next point. What is pipping? Pipping is like the first signs of the chick starting to peck through the actual eggshell itself. So it's a tiny little crack or a little chip in the shell. From the point of pipping to the point of hatching, that's another question. How long does that take? So it takes 12 to 18 hours usually, in between that range. It usually takes around 12 to 15 hours to either hatch or that it's not going to hatch and it didn't make it. I personally leave the eggs in the incubator for 48 hours after, so you're pretty safe then to turn off the incubator and dispose of those eggs. What do I do with newly hatched chicks? With your newly hatched chicks, so once they're actually out of the egg, say they've hatched and they're out of their shell, first off they're going to come out and they're going to be all soaking wet. So again, this isn't a point where you should be opening your incubator or anything like that. They're quite susceptible to getting really cold then because there's not much of them. There's no feathers, it's just all fluff. What you need to make sure of is you avoid all temptations. Even if you've got little ones there that really want to hold the baby chicks, you've got to avoid opening that incubator because you don't want to decrease or whatever the temperature range in there and shock the chicken, or chicks should I say, into basically not making it. What you want to be doing is waiting until that chick is dried out. Doesn't really take that long. You'll know when the chick's dried out because it'll just be a little fluff ball. What do I do with newly hatched chicks? Once you know that it's safe to open the incubator, grab those little guys or girls, put them in a little transfer box. That's what I do anyway. So I get a little, like a shoe box, put a heap of holes in it, put all the chicks in that, put the lid on, and then take that box as one unit to your brooder and put them in the brooder. I would suggest not carrying them one by one, because if you're carrying a chick and it squirms or you get a shock or something and drop it from an adult's height, chances are that chick is gone. They're still really fragile little things. So The whole idea of putting more than one box is, and close the box, you're going to be a lot less likely to drop a box than you are drop a chicken. Because I don't know about you, but if it's scratched, like if you've got it in your hand and it's scratching and it's trying to get out, you're worried about that, and there's too many things that could go wrong. So just in a box is the safest option. But today I was just going to talk about those couple of things from when the chick hatches to putting it in the brooder. I'll do another video on brooding chicks because, as I said, that's a different thing altogether, and you need to take a lot of other different things into consideration when you're brooding chicks. We better get on with getting this brooder set up, because I'm pretty sure those chicks are not very far off hatching.